Good evening. Getting an update done a little bit late. I forgot until just now. So, my wife Nikki's behind the camera again this week. It's a lot better for me to show plants anyway. So, I'm going to go through here. Just a few plants. My Ahicito, I actually lost an entire branch of it. It fell over a couple times this past week because it was a little too dry and it's getting top heavy. It's a huge plant. But you can't even really tell because it's so big that it ever even lost any pods. But I took those off, and yeah. Chacoense, I just took a right pod off today, and I'm going to be testing that coming up soon here. And Ricotos are like 4.5 feet tall at the tallest.
Yeah.
From the base to this.
Yeah, it's like 4.5 feet tall because I'm just
right
over 5 feet, and it's
just below my wife's neck there.
Yeah.
And she's 5'2". I want to walk around and showcase the Bishop's Crown, first of all, because I was looking at that today and how many pods that's gotten on it in the last week or two. I don't know if I even showed this last week, but it's
I think you did.
a ludicrous amount of pods on this one. Astounding. Hopefully they'll start ripening soon. These Biquinhos seem to take quite a long time to ripen. My lemon drops, too, have been holding steady. They're not many ripening. There's a ton of small pods on it. Once I bring them inside, get a lot more extended harvest. But
Here's a ripe one. Huh?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few on there, but just relatively the same amount for a while now. And Korisitakame, it's got a lot of ripe ones on it. I've been picking those and eating them. They're nice and mild heat.
It's hard to get it when you tilt it up because I can't tilt the camera that way. Sorry.
And there's still a bunch of pods that haven't ripened yet, as well as on the other plant. Might end up staking that one next year. Here's the Congo orange, or allegedly Congo orange, which are all turning red and look a lot like regular habaneros. Well, maybe a little bit more tapered in general, but I have one that I'm bringing out soon to test, and we'll see. The unknown chinense. Whoa, falling down here. It's hard. See, because this one looks pointed, but the rest of them just look kind of like regular habaneros. And if this had gotten going sooner, I probably would have had an extended harvest, a big time harvest. It's tons of flowers. And let's see here. Purple UFO. It's another one. There's a lot of pods starting to ripen now. So be able to get some more seeds in my back stock for this one. And my Pimenta Deseed cross, it's weird, I have 2 plants of this, and now that they're starting to ripen, here's plant number 1. You can see the pods that are ripe are red. They still got the purplish color to them in the background, but they're red. And then this other plant, both the ripe pods are orange.
Orange.
So I'm not sure what the hell these things got crossed with. They're really nice flavor. I like them. But they're definitely not Pimenta Deseeds.
Pimenta Deseed.
Pimenta? Is that what I just said?
Yeah.
Calling me out.
The price you pay.
My what I'm calling my bird's eyes, I'm not sure exactly what they are, but they got a frutescens or annuum type look to them. As you can see, there's a few starting to ripen. A lot more that have yet to ripen. Glad I staked this one up because it's kind of wobbly.
Of course, as soon as we try to film this video, there's the loudest cars on earth driving by.
Of course. And both my Biquinhos plants, I actually just made a batch made 3 batches of jelly in the last couple of days. My Biquinhos, I stripped them clean of all the ripe pods. There's still hundreds of pods between the 2 plants that are not ripe yet. But I made a batch, 3 jars worth of Biquinhos jam, and it turned out really well. I used lime juice, and I don't know, the aftertaste is kind of like a pina colada or coconutty kind of flavor. It's really good. And I also, with my Red Aribibi Gusanos here, and I could have used half the amount of peppers I did. I used the same volume amount as I did with the Biquinhos, and these mofos are damned hot. They're a lot hotter than I thought they were. I'd put them probably double heat of a regular habanero. They're just absolutely brutal, and the jam is almost inedible. It is so ridiculously hot that even like a shooter marble sized glob on my spoon. I was trying to scrape the remnants out of the saucepan last night or the night before, and I got a stomach ache. Granted, I did have an empty stomach, but even still, that shit was so hot. Yeah, so we'll see how long it takes me to plow through this jam. And I also made a batch of Anaheim jam because I wanted to try to make a batch with green peppers instead of fully ripe ones, and it turned out really well. It's really nice, strong Anaheim flavor. But these ones, even still, they don't have all that much heat in them yet, even the really big ones that I used. So there's just a little tingle of heat in it, but they all turned out really well. I used a little bit more volume of peppers with the Anaheim stuff, so it was a little lighter set. It wasn't as hard gloppy, a little bit more spreadable, so I don't have to stir up the top layer to be... Anyway, moseying on through here to the yellow bullets and the Aribibi Gusanos. As you can see, these in the last week they've put out tons of tiny little pods. There's probably 1,000 pods on this plant. I don't even want to guess as to how many there are, and it's still flowering. There's still hundreds of flowers on this thing.
Because it got hot again. Once
I bring this inside after the frost. Okay, sorry about that. Had some camera difficulties, dead batteries, etc. So moving along, got my Xaveries, which are all thrown out. I wish they would have been thrown out pods 2 months ago, but they're steadily throwing out some good ones. I think there's a ripe one on the front of this plant. Yeah, here we go. Right there.
There it is.
So I tried an unripe one a couple weeks ago. I might have mentioned that on a video recently. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but it was a nice flavor, and I'm looking forward to that. I had some ripe. Here's another one ripening. Peruvian purples. I sent out some to a few buddies that were getting the ripe color to them, so enjoy those.
It's hard to see in there. I was trying to put my hand behind it. So, yeah, no.
Getting too dark. But also I wanted to showcase my eximiums here. Those are all starting to ripen. I think there's probably a half a dozen plus that are starting to get the orange color. I'm pretty sure they turn red when they're fully ripe, but I don't know for sure. I can't find any pictures of them online. And steadily these Baker's Lanterns, getting a nice dark orange now.
Tons of them.
I don't think that they'll turn any different color than orange. They've been orange for a while now. My yellow-orange bird peppers, again, another one that didn't pod up for the longest time, and now I can't stop it. There's just a ludicrous amount. I might end up overwintering this plant, or at least carrying it through until all these pods mature, because there's probably 100 plus pods on it, and then probably 60 flowers that have yet to be pollinated. But yeah, my Tobago seasoning, throwing out a lot of pods as well. Hopefully I'll get some good ones on that before all is said and done. I heard that they do have a nice little nip of heat to them. And peach boot jalokias, I'm getting a nice rich dark color. I got a few more that are starting to ripen, a few that are already ripened over here, like this nice dark
That's pretty
peach colored one. I picked another one today that I'm going to be testing for pretty soon, and here's another nice one. And climb and reach through to my alleged white boots, which don't look white at all at any point.
No,
they're green.
Not at all white.
Green and then red. So, and my Nagabons, which are still flowering, but then as you can see there's a bunch starting to ripen. I picked a bunch for different people and also for myself to test. So those are another one doing really, really well. And I think that's about it. So, next week I'll come at you with, maybe I'll showcase a few different plants than I did this week. I think I did a fairly thorough tour without actually going to every individual plant and picking it up. So, yeah, enjoy, and I'll see you in a week.